We thought we'd roll out a once-in-a-lifetime business opportunity. Music.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Inter.
Worldwide.
Ciao, buongiorno a tutti ragazzi. Thanks for joining us again on Inter Worldwide. My main man, Christian Rivas on the line. Come estás, amigo?
Another day in paradise, enjoying this lovely, beautiful weather of 100 degrees in DC.
Nice one, bro. Before we jump into the title of this video, did you manage to catch the Spal game? And if you did, what did you make of it?
I sure did. What I made of it is what I've been telling everybody about my boy, Alexis Sanchez, being a baller.
That's it, man.
He's been going in and doing well.
I haven't seen him look so happy to play football in 2.5 years. This guy was walking for Arsenal for the last 6 months, was crawling on the floor for Manchester United, and now he's banging the floor with a fist every time the ball doesn't get to his feet. The guy looks like he's reborn, and that's the Conte effect, bro. And we are going to talk about that in depth. So I'll get started, Christian.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, so basically what we're talking about here is that, and don't get us wrong, some of these players still might be worth selling for a fair bit of plus Valenza or a fair bit of money, but we're talking a little bit about trash to treasure here and how Antonio Conte has made average, mediocre players under Spalletti not only look rejuvenated, but they can come to work and get a job done. We're talking about the Candrevas. We're talking about the Valeros. We're talking maybe to an extent Cristiano Biraghi, but we're also talking people like Alexis Sanchez. We are also talking people like, even in my opinion, Lukaku's mentality. We're just going along the lines of all these players who look 2 or 3 tiers better than they did in the previous 2 years under this boss. I'm only guilty a little bit this season of going against Conte. It was only in the last 3 weeks that I was starting to think, those rumors of him not having a longevity sort of career, is it going to implode sooner at Inter than it did at Chelsea and Juventus because you kind of see the same tricks? I don't think that's the case. I think the last 2 games have basically cemented the fact that we got 11 points more now than we did at the end of last season. There's 5 games left, 6 games left.
No,
dude,
6 points.
6 points. Sorry, I thought we had 11 more. My bad.
6 points away from the top. No, you're right about that.
6 points away from the top. My bad. If you were to tell us at the start of the season that you'd wake up on at the end of match day 33 with 0 anxiety about the Champions League, I would have taken it from your hands straight away. So let's go through some of these players and how we've managed to reach our goals this season under these players, because some of these players have played an immense amount of football. Hell, even Roberto Gagliardini has looked good a few times this season. And had he not hit that freaking crossbar from 3 centimeters out, we might even be sitting here going, yeah, Gagliardini can stay on the bench as well. But I'll start with Antonio Candreva. A lot of fans are on the fence about this one, Christian, bro, because his decision-making sometimes can still be selfish. It's very poor. He doesn't like to pass. But maybe you want to talk about the stats. Do you know how many goals and assists this guy has this season?
I mean, assists, he's leading the team. And it's crazy because we sit there and talk about how he doesn't like to pass the ball. I mean,
exactly.
Me personally, I'm very critical of it because I feel as a winger, your job is to pass. You're not a shoot. Your first job should not be shoot. That's what Lukaku and Lautaro and Alexis. Shoot or shoot. You're a winger. Your job is to cross the ball in, create, and if you have an opening, take a shot. But if you see there's a guy open that has a better look at goal, your job is to get him the ball. That's my personal opinion. Yeah,
fair enough. So with Candreva, like he's a crowd favorite of Conte, played very well in the 2016 Euro. Basically, being Italian, being a Paisani, Conte likes his Italian players. He likes to relate to them as much as possible. I mean, you look at our lineup this morning, it was absolutely stacked with Italians. And I think that Candreva's still got 1 or 2 years left here, simply because Conte is not going to sell a player like that. It's not the kind of player that Conte says, there's the door, just because there's someone a bit better than you. Bruno touched on this a lot at the start of this season. Conte won't sell Valero Gagliardini Vecino, Bruno said, because Conte wants options up his ass. He wants to make sure that he's got somebody there. Thankfully so, because we've run out of steam in midfield.
In Gagliardini's offense, Yes, he's been bad with missing those open look goals. Tap-ins, you can say, but is that really his job? He's more of a holding midfielder. His job is to break up play, which he does a fantastic job at doing. He's good at breaking up plays. He's good at winning tackles. He's good at the defensive part of the game. I can't fault him for not being good offensively. Yes, I fault his ass for missing that goal that was like literally right there. Those 3 points right now, we would be 3 points away from the top of the summit, and we legitimately could be thinking about winning Scudetto. My opinion, this season, if we finish the season in second place, 3 away from the top of the summit, I'm happy. I consider that a win because I consider us closing the gap on Juve. That was Antonio Conte's job. People fail to realize that this guy's already at 71 points, all right? He has the potential of hitting over 80 points. We haven't had that since, like, Trouble era, you know?
Yeah.
If you're looking at it, everybody keeps saying bring back Spalletti. Spalletti had 69 points last season, and I think the highest he hit was 71. We're already at that. What are you complaining about?
Yeah, absolutely. Go on.
Oh, yeah, and also on Candreva stats, I think he had 8 assists and 7 goals on the season so far.
Yeah, something like that. Let's move on to another player, and at the end of this video, we'll give a stay or keep verdict. Nonno Valero. Rumors have come in, and I'm pretty sure it's actually cemented that Conte has asked for an extension, a 1-year extension. Now, bit of an unpopular opinion, especially with some of the people I've spoken with in Australia, but I'm okay with the 1-year extension for the exact same reason at the start of this one. The guy has a high footballing IQ. He's literally got the same brain as Xavi, in my opinion. It's just the signals don't necessarily translate to the feet in the most efficient way that it did for Xavi. Now, at the end of the day, Borja Valero's 35. He'll be 36 next season, but he is the kind of midfielder you want to bring on in minuto 75 when you're leading by a goal or two. He's the kind of midfielder you want for the round 4 Coppa Italia clash against Pordenone or something, or Crotone or something like that.
For me, Papa Valero is like a poor man Cazorla.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call him a poor man Xavi. I'm going to call him a poor man Cazorla. You know, Santi Cazorla was a good player. You know, he had a high football IQ. He was good at picking the passes. Same thing that Borja is. The one thing that people fail to realize is Borja is like 34, 35. So I understand why people are against this. But if this guy doesn't bitch about playing, if he's not complaining about not logging in as many minutes, when he comes in, he actually sits there and slows the tempo of the game, and he dictates what he's complaining about. You know,
another reason, go on.
No, it's just like you were saying. He has a high football IQ. You can't be mad at it.
Another reason is that at 35, turning 36, his book value, it could be as low as 800K, 1.5 mil at the moment. Like, he's honestly worth nothing. He's one of those players that will be worth nothing in a year's time. So for his output versus how much money he can bring in, it's a wise decision to keep him. You might say Vecino is a better big game player. Bro, Vecino will still fetch you 20 million from an English side. Gagliardini, as decent as he is, will fetch us 17 million from a Serie A side. So we might as well cash in on these dudes while we can still bring in some plus Valenza. What do you think, Christian?
I for sure would get rid of Vecino. I currently feel that Vecino possibly has some sort of offer on the table, and he doesn't want to risk himself getting hurt because how's this guy supposedly back from injury, but he's not fit enough to still play? Dude, you were out for 3 months.
Yeah.
Or like, either you're holding out because there's something going on in the background and you don't want to get yourself hurt, or are you really hurt and now I'm really thinking about if I want to keep you around because when we needed you during the run-in, you didn't show up.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played a single game. You might have to go fact check me on this. Somebody do it, look it up and leave a comment. But I don't think he's had a single game since the restart.
Man, not only that, like if he really is not injured, he'll make the bench easy because our bench at the moment is literally grasping at straws. There's a spot for Vecino on the bench at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah. So who have we covered? Candreva, Gagliardini, Valero, Vecino. Cristiano Biraghi will be the next one on our list to discuss. Probably our most inconsistent player of the season, our most mistake-prone player, and our most nervy-looking player. I would agree with Christian Rivas. Vamos. Time to go back to a mid-table side where you belong. The good news is that we didn't.
He's only on loan.
Yeah,
He's a long
exactly.
player,
So the good news is that we did not pay the full funds for this guy, so it should be as easy as just sending him back to Fiorentina. Couple of questions for Christian. Do you bring back Dalbert from Fiorentina and try and pop him off? No. So basically we're going to look at maybe, because the thing is, Fiorentina aren't going to want two left backs like Biraghi and Dalbert next season. So one of them's going to have to stay at Fiorentina, and I think Dalbert's coming back to us, but we're probably working on something in the background to sell him.
I think Fiore said that they were going to buy him.
That would be great.
They were really happy with his performances this year.
If that's the case, then Fiorentina need to organize themselves and find another place for Biraghi. It's not our problem. As you said, he's on loan. Once he walks out door, he's not our responsibility.
Yep. And on top of that, I think there's only one player we really didn't cover, and that was Asamoah.
Yeah, so Asamoah, he's definitely got to be out the door, man. Like, there is no way he's sticking around. He's been, I think the last 2 or 3 games he's made the bench, but just to, like, fill seats.
Yeah, from what I heard is that his knee hasn't, it's not the same. Like,
it's bad,
he's
eh?
done. He's done.
So he and his agent would be wise just to look for the highest paying paycheck at the next club and just go and sit out a couple of seasons and play your way through. Gagliardini, Valero, Vecino, Biraghi.
Esposito?
Esposito, do you think we're going to send him out on loan next season?
We should.
We should, eh? Like some people who are saying that he should be like the 4th choice, 5th choice. Man, when he came on this season and he played well, we were up 3-0. When he did play and it was an even game, or when we started him, he looked out of his depth like any 17-year-old would at top level in Italy. So nothing against the kid. I think he's got a great talent. We need to send him to a Serie A team so he can get 30 games under the belt, yeah?
Yep, I agree. Let's see. Who else haven't we covered? Ranocchia? I'd say keep if you're asking me.
Keep for sure, because he's the best 5th or 6th choice centre back you could want. He'll never complain. He's happy to be there every day. He's a great presence for the dressing room. I swear to God, his wage is still probably below 90K a week or something ridiculously humble and like that. Like, you never know, but I don't see him as a player that asks for a pay jump even when they do renew his contract once every 2 years. Couple more, actually. Let's talk about Handanovic. Let's talk about Handanovic for a second.
I thought we wanted to save him. That one's gonna be a good topic. I would say let's go to go D'Ambrosio, just get him out the way because I'm keeping him.
Cool.
And then we go back to D'Ambrosio. Yeah.
I'd keep D'Ambrosio for the fact that he's more versatile than the other people, the other backs. Like dude, I swear to God, when you put him in a back 3, he looks better than Skriniar this season. So he's the type of player that.
Too.
Dude, like that'll be he's definitely a Conte type player. Conte, like, all right, if worst comes to worst, I've got a Danilo D'Ambrosio on the bench where I say jump and he says, yes, boss, how high? So that'd be awesome. Let's get this one out of the way early. We've already redeemed him for a year. Ashley Young saved Gagliardini's career this morning with a little dip and a nice little pass across. He put that pass so close to the line that even Gagliardini couldn't fuck that up.
Like I told you before, I love Ashley Young, dude. Like, I'm not a Manchester United fan, like I've stated before, and I've always respected the player. He's a class guy. He brings a lot to the dressing room. I'd keep him. Next one should be Victor Moses.
If we're shitting money and 10 or 12 million seems like pocket change, I'd get him. Because I actually think he does the basics better than any of our wingbacks. I think his crossing game is better than any of our wingbacks. So accurate, goddamn sniper with his crosses. And if you give him 1 or 2 meters in front of you, you ain't going to catch him either. He's pacey.
Okay. That being said, I didn't get to give my verdict on Candreva. You just gave his stats.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go through all the names. I was going to go through all the names at the end, and we'd just give a stay or keep verdict.
Oh, I thought that's what we were doing right now. All right, never mind.
So Moses, one more. Oh yeah, the last one was the obvious one, and that's Alexis. So before we do a hit and miss, 20 million is what United are asking for. I don't think we're going to have to pay 20. I'd pay 20. You'd pay 20. I reckon Marotta's going to come back with something like 13, 14. And then maybe we can get it down to 17, 18.
I think it's going to be 15 and then 5 million in bonuses just to make fucking Man U happy. And it's going to be spread out between 2-3 years.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about Christian Eriksen because I don't like the headlines that come out on him every day. I'm going to wait for something solid until we talk about him.
Handanovic, let's finish that one up.
So, Samir and I this morning were debating like we always do. He says there is no reason to replace him. I say, dude, do you want to be proactive and be prepared for a shitty scenario? Or do you want to wait until he has 3 or 4 bad games in a row next season? We completely shit ourselves and say, we need a goalkeeper now. Oh, crap. It's January. Every world-class keeper costs more than 60 million at the moment. I can't wait this long, bro, because I can see, I love Handanovic. He can probably go another year or 2, but I can't take that chance because he's starting to slip. We can't afford to slip anymore. We're where we're at the summit, G.
You never posted what we conversated about the other day with Mario, did you?
The uncut episode we did. Yeah, it's online. It's on SoundCloud. It's been up for 3 days.
Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure. I didn't see that.
It's there. It's there, bro.
We're going to look it up. That being said, you remember my whole rant about who we should get.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Just for those watching right now, we're not even going to discuss it. You're going to have to go to the Inter Uncut link, and I'm going to link it in the description. You make sure you go and check out our debate on the goalkeeper because it was kind of like a glass-shattering illusion for me.
And all I'm going to say is this, Sammer, you're tripping if you don't think Handanovic needs to be kind of evaluated right now. If you look at how he's been playing, why is this not evaluation taking place currently?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's not even his fault. Man's 37. He's coming off another injury. I don't expect him to be peak De Gea at the moment, bro. He's 37. Have you seen the way Buffon looks when he gets in the sticks? I reckon you could score past him at the moment, man. Real talk. Some of these players, nah.
I'll score past his ass in prime. Fuck him.
Yeah, like once you reach a certain age, it's no longer about how good you can still be. It's just a matter of your ticking time bomb physiology-wise, man. Your reaction time is poorer. There is nothing you can do to even train to be better than that at your age, in my opinion. You could try, but you are not going to be as effective. It's as simple as that.
And like you said before, I know you told everybody go check the link out, but remember, Handanovic is a reaction-type keeper.
That's it. Yeah, he's Honda save. All right, let's go through this list and finish off this video, starting from the top. Antonio Candreva, keep or sell. Anthony says keep. Christian Rivas.
Sell.
Nice one, bro.
Sell just to bring in Moses. That's the only reason. Just
then next one then. Victor Moses, sign or send back?
Sign.
See, I'm going to say sign too, but I know that conflicts with keeping Candreva, so yeah, I kind of don't know.
The reason I say that is just remember Hakimi is better on the right.
Yeah. Hakimi is not a player where you just switch over to the left, but same as Victor Moses, which is probably why D'Ambrosio is the better option than Candreva to keep around. I know Candreva's played on the left a little bit at Lazio, and he also played on the left for, was it Conte this season or Spalletti last season? There was a couple of times where we were so bad on depth that Candreva started on the left-hand side. Do you remember?
I want to say Spalletti.
Yeah, maybe. It might have even been an in-game tactic change that I saw, man. Next one, D'Ambrosio, keep or sell. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'll say keep as well, just for versatility.
I'm insulted that you would even debate this.
You want to know?
Ask me this question.
I know, but you want to know why I'm a little bit more doubtful now than I was 9 months ago when he was coming into his prime again under Spalletti. He hasn't been used much under Conte, especially in the last 2 months. Do you think it's because of an injury or?
No. All right, let's get one thing straight. Godin is probably on his way out.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to keep D'Ambrosio.
Good call. Very good call, bro. For 6.5 million a year for what he's dishing out, Godin's got to go, man. Thank you. I was very happy that he's here. I don't think he's been half as bad as everybody says. I really don't. Because
he's been decent, but for 6.5 million a year, like decent isn't gonna cut it.
You might as well play one of your Primavera center backs for like honestly, man, like, it's just too much money. It's too much money for someone who's expected to come in and be 2 or 3 tiers above what he has been. But I don't think he's been bad, but it's definitely time to sell off Godin. Ashley Young, we know he's staying for another year, but if it was up to you, Christian, are you happy with the contract extension? Yep, keep. Absolutely.
I might even give him a raise.
Nonno Valero, happy to keep him for another year, or would you sell him?
I'd keep him. He's not going to get you any money anyway, so you keep
Exactly.
him. Yeah.
Roberto Gagliardini.
You didn't say if you keep or sell him, though.
Who, Gagliardini?
No, Valero.
Oh, no, I'd keep him. I've said it all week. Like, I'm happy with the contract extension. I don't care how many people are going crazy at me. Like, a few people online are like, what the fuck? He basically represents everything that's aging and wrong with this Inter. I'm like, I don't think you're reading between the lines as much.
I mean, they say everything that's wrong with this Inter is 6 points off the top.
That's it, man. So, yeah, Gagliardini, I'll start that one. I go sell for sure. Only because I think we'll have the depth. I think we're going to sign Tonali and probably another midfielder. There's literally no room for him. And that's the point.
I mean, if there's no room, yeah. But we got to make sure we sign Tonali, and then the whole question about Ninja.
Yes, thank you so much. I was about to say, it really is going to come down to if we do bring in Tonali and want Nainggolan back. I have a feeling Nainggolan talk and rumors will pick up so much that we can just do a whole video on that shortly, man, because I don't think that's too far away. One thing I'm sure we'll agree of, Matias Vecino, cash in. Cash in.
Cash in.
Nice. And I think that's it. I think that's it. And
we got to go through the whole roster because there's a lot of rumors out there. So let's go with Brozovic. I'm saying keep.
Dude, I'll say keep as well, man. I don't want to let him go. Like, at the end of the day, he's been our engine. When he doesn't play, we suffer. So we got to keep Brozovic. And there are a lot of rumors. Do you think it's true?
I think he's staying.
Yeah. I think he's staying.
We're not going to find anyone to take that spot. It's just...
He's cemented it, bro. It's his.
Here's
who else?
Interesting one.
Skriniar? I would redeem him, and this is another thing that Christian Rivas does. Whenever I think I've made my mind up, Christian Rivas will bring out something out of nowhere that makes me just go, oh, hold up. Yeah. And this one made a lot of sense. The other day you said, if we don't buy him, Juve will. Straight away, the next day. And they'll put photos up and they'll flaunt him, and he will turn into prime pillow under their ass. Yeah, we got to get him.
Yeah.
We got to be dirty. We've got Marotta now, and it's a Marotta thing to say, all right, I'm not playing with this toy, but you can't have it either. So do it.
I will also say, here's another good one. Total.
Whoa. I'm going to say keep, because I don't think the last month is a true reflection on him, because last season and at the start of this season, most Inter fans were convinced we had the best young striker in Europe. And the relationship he has forged with Lukaku is not a relationship that's supposed to blossom within weeks, but it blossomed on the first game. Like, you can't teach that relationship to everybody.
And Alexis. It just shows high football IQ on Toto, because you throw him in there with Lukaku, he finds ways to work with him. You throw Toto in with Alexis finds ways to work with him. They know how to work
so worried about playing next to each other. I'm like, can they really complement each other? And like, they're good. They're very good together, man. It probably helps that, their countries are kind of side by side. But at the end of the day, that's not the be all and end all. Their relationship is fantastic. And dude, I just can't get enough of Alexis, bro. Like, honestly, I am so happy seeing him passionate on our team. It still hasn't sunk in properly. I'm like, we got the same Alexis Sanchez that Barcelona and Arsenal had as well. Is this really happening at the moment? So Not only am I all for him staying, but sign that guy permanently to the number 7 and let's get us a couple of jerseys, bro.
Well, I have that one too.
Oh yeah, you got one. Which one did you get him on? Home, away, or third?
Home. That's like my second home. I got D'Ambrosio and Alexis.
Yeah, nice.
Here's a good one. We didn't cover it, but we should. Skriniar.
Oh, man, I keep him 100%. Like, you couldn't pay me to sell that guy. And, like, I know he hasn't looked great in a back three, but a back three is a very aging philosophy.
For me, I wouldn't even really say it's an aging philosophy before I get into the whole Skriniar situation. Because Gasparini's doing magic with it. So you can't really say it's an aging thing. And right now, currently, the 3-5-2 is got us in second place right now, so you can't really say it's not a good philosophy.
Fair.
Secondly, I'm going to play devil's advocate with you on Skriniar right here.
Mm.
He hasn't worked in the 3-5-2.
Nah, not well.
If someone comes and offers you $60 million, are you going to turn it away?
I actually think I would turn it away. But, like, in this market,
Why?
60 million for a centre-back is a lot of money, bro. We don't get offers for centre-back. Why? Because in a back four for the last 2 years, he was quite possibly the best centre-back in the league. And I don't necessarily think I'm ready to part ways with someone I thought was a future captain. That being said, I am more open to the idea of selling him now than I was months ago for 2 reasons. One, De Vrij is the second best Dutch centre-back in the world. He's way better than De Ligt. All right, maybe Van Dijk's a bit better, but if De Vrij was playing in another team, if De Vrij was playing... Let me finish and then you can go. Let me finish and you can go. If De Vrij was playing at Juve or Barca, he'd be the best centre-back in the world, and everybody knows it. Just like Maicon was just as good as Dani Alves. You switch those 2 teams around, Maicon's the best Brazilian right-back of all time, not Dani Alves. So I think it all comes down to context. But the biggest reason why I'm open to sell Skriniar, you know this, man. Starts with a B, ends in an Astoni.
Bastoni.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, back to De Vrij real quick before I finish up on Skriniar. I would take De Vrij over fucking overrated Van Dijk any day.
Fair enough.
I say Van Dijk is overrated. People might call me crazy, but when I sit there and hear people comparing him to fucking Maldini, what?
Yo, just quickly.
I think Virgil's number 2 to the De Vrij. Like, if you watch the positioning, De Vrij is kind of better. The only thing I'll give Virgil over De Vrij for sure is headers. That's about it, because he's a lot taller. But when you're looking at physicality, they can go toe-to-toe with each other. When you're looking at defensive positioning, I'm going to give De Vrij the slight edge on that. When you look at recovery, I'm going to give De Vrij that. I feel De Vrij is just like the bare minimum, like, squeaks by. Like, if you're telling me to compare the two, I'm putting Virgil at a 92 and I'm putting De Vrij at 93.
Nice, man. I like it. We won't get too sidetracked, but I just wanted to throw something out there. I actually think Sergio Ramos is one of the only centre-backs I've ever seen. Sorry?
He's overrated.
No way, bro. I reckon he's fantastic. I reckon he's one of the best I've ever seen. This guy started taking free kicks out of the box now.
Don't give me
I reckon he's amazing, bro. Every time
he's more of a wing back than a fucking center back, bro.
Dude, that's the point.
Wait, the amount of times this guy's been beaten, the amount of times that he's done some clumsy ass red cards, the amount of times he's done some stupid ass shit in the back line, got me like, yo.
Look, I hate Barcelona, man, and Ramos was a beast this season, bro. He's scoring free kicks, penalties, headers, bro. The guy's got like 11 goals.
I can care less about the Barcelona versus Madrid thing because I'm an Inter fan. That ain't got shit to do with me, and I'm going to call it how it is. If you're the best, all right, when you look at the best of the best of the best of the best, how many red cards did Maldini have? How many red cards did Nesta have? How many red cards did Zanetti have? Zanetti had 1 red card his whole career. 1.
Who was it against again?
I want to say it was, was it Lazio?
I don't know, man. I forget. I just remember my face dropping when I saw him walked off. I'm like, no, this is a bad dream. Yeah.
Zanetti got 1 red card, and it was against... Who was it against?
While you're looking that up, Rivas is on the fence. Not on the fence. Rivas, I think, would take the 60 million for Skriniar, no matter who it comes from, whether it's Barca, Madrid, City, or Man United. Counter question, do you think Milan Skriniar wants to leave this club for something a bit bigger, or do you think he would be really upset at being told by Conte and Marotta, oi, it's not working out, we're going to cash in?
Okay, just to correct myself, he got 2 red cards. Now he had 2 red cards in his illustrious career. All right.
I only saw 1.
Topic. I saw 1, but 1 was in 98, 99.
There you go.
Yeah, so, yeah. But back to Skriniar. I don't think Skriniar wants to leave. I think he's happy to stay. But in the same sense, I don't think he would be mad to leave because he knows he doesn't fit a 3-back.
Yeah. Also, I think Skriniar in his 3 years at this club has taken on the mental stress of a decade. Like those 2 years under Spalletti where he came in and just went from Inter fans went from why did we sign Skriniar instead of Bonucci to thank God we did not sign Bonucci in the space of a week. Do you remember Inter was linked with Bonucci for like 2 months before when he was about to leave Juve? And then it all came to Milan and And we
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. And like, yo, honestly, I don't know how the fuck we would talk to this guy, dude. I really don't know.
Well, I think no matter who comes in for him, if we do get the 60 million, I don't think we'll complain as long as it's invested wisely. And, it will be because Marotta already behind the scenes, when he does get some cash in, I know for a fact he's going to inject it straight into redeeming Sensi, straight into making sure Barella's contract is paid off, straight into making sure Lukaku's contract is paid off. Just basically clean up the last bit of our books that need cleaning.
Yeah. Honestly, our books are actually in pretty good shape. And it was actually the one red card he got in Serie A was against Udinese.
Udinese. All right, cool. Do we need to cover anybody or anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Cool. Well, we've gone way longer than I thought, so this just turned into the next episode of the podcast, which is dope. That means I don't need to do one in a few days. But before we do go, since we are going a little bit longer, I'm 99% sure we're going to mathematically wrap up UCL on the next game. If we don't, it'll be... We did. No, not mathematically. We need 1 point.
No, because didn't Napoli lose?
It's Roma. Roma in fifth, minus 14, with 15 points still to play. And we have Roma next in 3 days at the San Siro.
I think we beat Roma. I think Lazio beats Juve just for the fact that Lazio have to beat them to secure Champions League as well.
They've been asked the last few games, man. Go figure when you have to play more than one game in 8 days.
I'm going to say they beat Juve just as Sassuolo, I said, would take points from Juve. They're going to take points from Juve too. Juve is on a free fall, bro. Like, again, call me crazy. I still think that they might have a mass collapse. Like right now, they're not looking good at all. They're looking their age. They're gassed in the second half.
Big time.
I'm going to say Lazio takes points from them, and I'm going to say Roma takes points from them. I'm not saying they're not going to win the title. I'm still hopeful we do, but if they do win it, it's only going to be by 3 points or 1 point. It's not going to be no walk in the park. Like this might come down to the last match day.
Yeah, it'd be great. Great to see. Well, if that's all for now, we will check in very soon, probably straight after the Roma game. And yeah, man, everything is good. The last 2 wins have really, really eased any sort of remaining stress. And as I said at the start of the season and pretty much every video I've done, all I wanted to do was wrap up the Champions League before match day 37-38. And it's come at the exact time that I predicted. I said the whole season, 31, 32 or 33, it's got to be in the bag. It's in the bag. Perfect.
And stop saying Conte out. You guys sound stupid saying that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We should be counting our lucky stars that he's come in, and clubs sometimes take 3 or 4 years to have this sort of jump or this sort of impact. And here he is overnight turning us into a new team.
For the record, if he manages to win Scudetto this year, that would be the most Inter thing to do. Fucking fuck up the whole season. Sit there looking like, damn, we should have dropped against Bologna. We shouldn't drop against Verona. Pazza Inter, bro. Like, all of a sudden, Conte wins the title in his first season like he usually does in the most Inter way possible. Us being crazy and Juve somehow choking. Go figure.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. All right, until we check in soon.
I get my whole rant.
I can't wait.
Ranting.
That's some use and abuse that I can't wait to cop, bro. All right, we'll check in soon. Christian Rivas, ciao.
Later.